Now, Job's going to answer again. This is the seventh time that he answers, and now he's beginning to have a longing for God. These men keep telling him, but this man has a longing in his heart for God. And the whole point is that the friends are not bringing him into God's presence at all. But listen to Job now. Then Job answered and said, even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Now, Job says, actually, you fellas see my condition, and you've heard my complaint, but my condition is worse than it looks, and it's worse than I'm making it. That is the thing that he's saying here. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. Job now has a longing to come into the presence of God. And it'd be wonderful if these men here now knew how to bring him into the presence of a throne of grace. He doesn't need a throne of judgment. He's already been there, and he's already been to the woodshed, and he's been disciplined. No question about that. Now, somebody needs to bring him into the presence of God. I think that's obvious now. And he goes on to say, I can't find him. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. Now, Job says, I'm ready to go into his presence. But you see, the way Job wants to go into the presence of God, he wants to go in to defend himself. Oh, my friend, you don't defend yourself. You just go in and plead guilty before him because you are guilty. And when we find Job getting into the presence of God, he'll have a different story to tell, and he'll change his tune altogether. Now, here he says, I would know the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Job says, I'm wondering what he would say to me, and I'd like to know what they'd be. And he says, I want to know where I can find him. And any man that has that in his heart is going to find him, I can assure you. Verse 8, behold, I go forward, but he's not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. Well, you can't locate God by running here and there. He's near, nearer than hands, nearer than breathing. He's right close to you. But Job says, I've been running up and down on the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Now there's beginning to break a little light on the soul of Job, and it's this. I'm being tested for a purpose. I don't know what it is. I don't understand a thing, but God is using this in my own life. And my friend, have you discovered that in your own heart, in your own life, that things have come to you and trouble has, and that it has strengthened the fiber of your faith? It has given you a moral character that you never had before, and given you a strength and actually a comfort in the time of the storm. You know, he never promised we'd miss a storm. He did promise we'd make the harbor, and that's good enough for me. Now, will you notice what he says here? Verse 12, neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. Now, Job says something here that reveals that he was following the word, but his interpretation apparently was bad. But he has a desire for the word of God. And here again is where God will teach us. You know, some of the lessons that are here in the word of God, you don't learn them by actually studying them. You'll learn them by experience. Many of them come to us that way.